Good morning, guys. This is Pushpak Raj, and today's topic is on the scenario-based questions on the login page. Guys, maximum time asked in the manual testing interview, that is the scenario-based questions. Sometimes the scenario-based questions asked in the automation test interview also. Okay, so the today's scenario is on the login functionality or login page. So the scenario is you have to assign to test a login functionality for a web application. The login page has two fields, username and password, and login button. Your task is to ensure that the login process work correctly and securely. How would you approach to testing the functionality? So what is the scenario, guys? The scenario is you have a login page. You have to test the login functionality, that is login ID and password, and click on login button. So scenario is to check that all the credential is working fine or not, or login credential is working fine or not. That is the scenario. So what kind of testing you can perform as a tester, that we have to see. Okay, so first testing you have to perform, that is the positive testing. Enter a credential for register username and password field. Click on login button. Verify that the user successfully login and redirected to the appropriate page. Means what this is that when you enter the valid login ID and valid password and click on login button, in that case you can reach on the home page or appropriate page. That we have to check that after entering the valid ID, means valid username and valid password. Then we have to performing the negative testing. Okay, in the negative testing attempt, log in incorrect username and correct password. Second attempt, log a correct username and incorrect password, and verify that the appropriate error message display for the valid login attempt. Means what they said that in the first attempt you have to enter the invalid login ID and valid password and click on login button. In that time you have to show the pop-up message. The message is that you can enter the invalid login ID. Okay, and in second case you can enter the valid login ID and invalid password. In that case also you can show the pop-up message that you can enter the incorrect password. Okay, so such a kind of pop-up message you can show that in the negative testing. Then next one is the boundary testing. Test the login functionality with minimum allowed character in the username and password field. Means minimum character means less than limit. Okay, and the maximum character means more than limit. We have to check that in the boundary value analysis. Okay, then next move on the compatibility testing. It test the login functionality on different browser. Like in the compatibility testing we can test that on the different browser. Like we have a different browser like Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Safari, Edge. So you have performing the testing that the application or the functionality is working fine on the different browser. So that testing is known as the compatibility testing. Test the login functionality on different desktop also. Second, that is the desktop, mobile and tablet. Means we can test that functionality on the different devices. Like someone use that application on the desktop, someone use in the mobile, someone use in the tablet. So you can test that in the compatibility testing. Next one is the performance testing. Measure the time taken for the login process under the normal and peak loads. Means suppose there are the different timings. According to the timing there is a workload is fluctuating. Like in the morning time there may be a 100 people use that application, or in the afternoon time maybe the 1,000 people use that application, or in the night time the 10,000 people use that application. So in the every times how is the performance giving by the login functionality, that we have to evaluate that. Okay, evaluate the application and responsiveness during the login attempt, that we have to check in the performance testing. Next move on the usability testing. Evaluate the all user experience during the login process. Means to check that when you are testing, means I am told you guys there are the 100 people use or there are the 1,000 people use. So we have to evaluate that overall experience during the login process. Means how was their experience. Check if the error message and are clear and helpful for users. Means whatever the error message or pop-up message you can show when you have entered the invalid credential, or you can make it as a empty. So that time what kind of pop-up message you can show, that you have to check in the usability testing. Next one is the regression testing. In the regression testing means after fixing any defect found during the testing, performance regression testing to ensure that the new issue were introduced. Means after fixing means what a kind of testing you can perform, you can find out any issue and you can fix, means developer fix that issue. After fixing of that issue, we are performing the regression testing to ensure that due to adding of new functionality or new code in the software, there is a no impact of existing functionality, that we check in the regression testing. So that is all about the test scenario on the login functionality. So thank you guys for watching the videos. Please hit the bell icon, and for such a kind of video, please like the videos, subscribe the videos. Have a good day guys. Thank you guys for watching the videos. Have a good